This is gonna be my guide for driving in tag team racing. The first thing before we even drive, something very important to cover, is the car you will be driving. So this is Crash's PSP car. This is the car you normally get on all console versions by default, the Trikey. This car sucks, don't drive it. PSP car is faster and excuse me, it stays on the ground a lot more, aka you don't get thrown in the air and trolled as much like the Trikey. The driving physics are much better on this car. And how do you get it, you might be asking. So how you get it? There's two ways. Number one, you've got to own the PS2 and the PSP version of the game. You go to extras and there's this right here, connect to PSP. How you do this is you connect the PSP to the PS2 with a mini USB cable. You go to the screen on both the PSP and PS2 and it'll unlock all the content on each version, so that the PS2 version has the PSP stuff and the PSP stuff has the PS2 stuff. You get it. Obviously, there's like probably 10 people in the world who own both versions. So the second way to get this car is you use a free McBoot, which is like a soft mod on your PS2 memory card. It's not even modding your console. You can take the card out of the console and it will like be a stock console, no modding or anything. But you get a free McBoot memory card and you're able to copy and paste save files onto another memory card that way. So what you could do is just copy paste my save file with the PSP car unlocked, which is a fresh save file. Nothing else in the game has been like done. You could use it for any percent and everything. You could just copy paste that save file onto your memory card and you don't ever have to worry about owning a PSP just to have fun driving in this game. So now that that's covered, I'll get into some fast laps and just cover some things. I'm gonna do the turbo because it's the most laid back track. So the first thing I'm gonna be talking about is how you steer. So normally this is what casual steering looks like, left and right. Very, very hard steering, not smooth at all. This is what regular drifting looks like. Just holding hard left, hard right on the analog stick. You're gonna go into walls a lot like that. This is kind of how a casual player would play. As you're watching. This is, we're gonna do a normal boost here. Not going too fast. Alright, now let's restart and start doing some professional driving. So right away, what I'm going to start doing instead, rather than steering straight left and right with the analog stick, is you hold forward like you're walking forward all the way on the analog, and you steer left and right while holding forward on the analog stick, and it'll go much smoother. See how much smoother this turning is? Looks very, very clean, not much jerking, none of that. So that's how you steer optimally. You just hold forward on the analog stick and you're gonna have much easier time turning straighter, etc. Now you could do this same thing while drifting. It's called straight drifting. So if you hold forward and slightly left, slightly right, this is the kind of drift you'll get. It's much straighter, much faster, and you can steer like more to the left, more to the right, while holding forward still. And then I'm gonna do something right here called a brake boost. So what you do is before you boost, you hold the brake button. You don't hold the brake button the entire time while you're boosting. It's just like as you're boosting at the start. So the more you slow down while braking, the stronger the brake boost is. So this is what a brake boost looks like max speed, stop, complete stop. You can see I kind of went into the walls because very uncontrollable speed. The thing about brake boosting is the stronger your brake boost is, sometimes you'll just have like no steering. You'll have like 10% of the steering power you used to have. So super strong brake boost coming to a complete stop is more optimal than other places. Some places you don't want to brake boost too strong. Some places you don't even want to brake boost at all. So yeah, those are like the biggest important things is drifting straight, steering straight, holding forward, brake boosting. While you're brake boosting, by the way, you actually don't want to be holding forward on the analog stick to steer, because for some reason that slows the boost down. I didn't know about that for a long time, but when you are boosting, try and steer normally as one will, not like holding forward on the analog stick. So that's like the basic tech. I'll visit a few more tracks to show off other things, like letting go of accelerate mid-drift, slow down. La Brea is a very good. Actually, no. Tire. Where is it? Once Upon a Tire. Yeah, this is a good track for two things to show off. So, yeah, you can let go of accelerate while drifting to slow down your drift to make it around tighter turns. This is how you start this fast lap, by the way, drifting up the hill like that. Drifting up hills can definitely help you go faster. So if there's an uphill and you can turn at all, like just slightly on it, just drift. Okay, so I'm failing to mention a few things here, which I should be mentioning, like letting go of accelerate during the drift. You can do that there to help. If you look at the acceleration bar while I'm doing it, you can tell that like I'm letting go of accelerate. And you can also, I'll talk about boost points, how you even get a boost in the first place. Is you drift. If you drift for a long enough time, you've probably noticed that you get boost points while drifting for a certain amount of time. It stops at plus 30, but you can reset your drift by like letting go of the analog stick and brake. Well, you only tap brake to drift, so you're not even letting go of brake, but you just like let go of the analog stick for a very brief moment, and then just try and drift again, like while you're in the middle of drifting already, and it'll just reset the drift boost counter like so. There it is. I kind of messed up and did it a little slow, but you get the point. And if you can notice that I'll do this once more so you can see me not accelerating during a drift. You don't let go of it entirely depending on like the turn. You can just tap it, like tap 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 tap, so you're not coming to a complete stop, but you're slowing down. I'll do it here. As you can see, tap 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 tap. See how it's going up and down? Alright. So there's that. I'll cover a few things you can do in races to help go faster in races. I'll do Dead Heat. Actually, no wait. I'll do Jack and the Beanstalk because there's something I should mention there. So in this game, the whole gimmick is clashing with other racers, but clashing with people is actually really slow. But what you can do is you can clash and then unclash immediately, and it gives you a big boost in speed and like puts you ahead of the other car in front of you. So as an example, I'm just gonna clash with these guys a bunch and just kind of climb my way through. Much easier to see the speed boost on dead heat because there's a strat on dead heat with the clash tech that allows you to bypass engine without him just completely killing you. But yeah, you can tell it just kind of gives you a boost in speed. And I'll talk about the targets on some of these tracks. That's another thing I should point about, is defending yourself from fireballs. So this is a chicken. Chickens aren't very useful for defending yourself against fireballs, but they are useful for breaking these targets that are on the ground. I missed it, so you won't be able to see, but what you can do is you can hit these targets that are on the ground, which are very rare. There's not very many in the game. Most of these targets are meant to be shot by a person in the turret. But this is a monkey. These are really good for defending against fireballs. I'll have to get in first and show you. But monkeys by default throw backwards, and they have a tracking property, so like they can't really miss a fireball at all. So I'm gonna wait for a fireball to show up unless Engine or Mina decide to just pass me up here, which they do very often. And there's a little fireball indicator indicating that there was a fireball on my way, on its way to destroy me. Chickens can defend against fireballs too, but they take much longer to throw backwards, and you have to hold back on the analog stick to throw them backwards at all anyway. So chickens are not ideal for defending yourself against fireballs, but they are the only way you can get boost points from these targets on the ground. And I'm gonna go ahead and try and farm for a chicken to destroy a target to show you that you get plus 50 boost points by destroying a target. I mean, it hit his foot there, so won't be able to see it that way. I tried destroying targets with monkeys, but I don't think it can be done. I'm getting a lot of monkeys. Okay, here's a chicken. So there's this house. So you can see it gave me plus 50, which can help with getting more boosts per lap. But, yeah. I believe that is everything. So, I guess I'll just, like, drive a track. I'm gonna do a race that, like, shows off everything I just talked about, and then combine it to go really fast. Feel like... La Brea, I'll just do La Brea, it's a shortish track. So yeah, right away, typically what you want to do is at least clash tech with one person. Not on every track you do this, but clash teching does get you ahead. You want to... I'll just point out everything I do. Clash tech here, straight drift here, straight drift here. Brake boost here, not as strong as it can be, but you don't want the strongest brake boost here. Drift, let go of accelerate to get a tighter turn. Brake boost. Again, you want to not hold forward while you are boosting, because it slows you down. You want to turn like regularly while boosting. Everywhere else you can hold forward. Don't worry about it. Keeping this monkey until fireball comes at us. You have to throw monkeys, by the way, to use your boost. either bind it to the same button, let go of accelerate, or tap it a little bit. Restart the drift to get the +10. Also, I should have mentioned this, but I feel like on PSP car, if you're barely turning at all, it helps you eat hills and bumps, or rather than going completely straight. So you'll see me just barely turn on some places just to keep my car on the ground, like in Dead Heat. There's lots of those spots. Another thing you could do, you might have noticed I turned off my rear view mirror. That is to reduce lag in the game. It'll drop, you get more frames per second. This is still a little laggy in this race, but this is like the only track it does lag, maybe. Even with the rear view mirror turned off. It lags much more with the rear view mirror on, but yeah, that is one thing you could do to make the game a little less laggy, is turn off the rear view mirror. The rear view mirror can help to see incoming fireballs, but you already have the fireball indicator that shows you when there is a fireball on its way. Oh yeah, you can also destroy shortcut, like fences. The fences there in a shortcut for boost points, though that very rarely happens. Yeah, the less you the less you steer while you're boosting, the faster you go. And I feel like that is everything covered. So if I missed anything, or you have questions, or you want to see like fast lap tutorials, but at that point what you could do instead is just like watch this tutorial and go watch all the fast lap world records. That's your best bet. Yeah, other than that, questions or anything, let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching. Happy driving.